I'm Jasmine Moradi, and you're listening to the Queens of Tech podcast, a podcast series about raising the voice of workplace champions. 60 plus questions in around 30 to 40 minutes with women, women of color, non-binary, and transgender influencers about their journey into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I started the Queens of Tech podcast initiative in May 2022 because I would like to retain more women, women of color, non-binary, and transgenders in the tech industry. Talent is out there, but our work environment needs to improve for all to feel safer, stay authentic, and to be valued for our contributions. My vision is to raise the workplace ecosystem for all in tech by killing the imposter syndrome, stopping bad behavior, and increasing equity opportunities. Each podcast talk is built around 60 plus questions regarding upbringing, education, career path, DIB, and future advice. My mission is to bridge the gap between schools and workplaces by getting into the heart of my guest's personal life and career journey to inspire other girls, women of color, non-binary, and transgenders to unleash their full potential to reach top leadership roles in the tech industry. My goal is to raise the voices of tech champions around the world and together with companies, investors, and politicians, raise the challenges and opportunities around equity, inclusive, diversity, and belonging in our workplaces. Enough is enough. I would like to enforce companies to build a sustainable, inclusive culture to retain diverse talent so we keep the workforce power equity to continue building future diverse and inclusive products. Representation matters. Your voice matters. In this episode, I'm very excited to welcome my guest, tech queen Rania Hoteit, a multi-award winning serial entrepreneur, impact leader, advisor, and international speaker, and founder and former CEO of ID4A Technologies. Hi, Rania.
Hi, Jasmine.
I'm very happy to have you joining us. How are you today?
Great. I'm likewise happy to join you as well.
Well, let us dig into your journey into STEM to get to know you better. Hope you're ready for the Quiz of Tech 60 plus questions.
Let's go.
Let's warm up with a few fun facts about you. How would you describe your personality in 3 hashtags?
Resilient, visionary, transformative.
How would you summarize your life in 3 sentences?
I'd say raised in the chaos of war and a fractured family, I overcame adversities to carve my path and create a better future. Through resilience and determination, I built successful businesses and became an impactful leader. My journey stands as a testament to empowerment and visionary leadership and the power of breaking through obstacles to achieve one's full potential. And I hope to inspire others to do the same.
What kind of music stimulates and motivates you the most?
For stimulation and creativity, I enjoy new age world music and classical music. For motivation and empowerment, I gravitate more towards reggae, high energy electronic dance music, and hip hop to a lesser extent.
What is your personal motto?
Be true to yourself, live with purpose, and seek wisdom in every experience.
What is your favorite book?
The Prophets by Khalil Gibran. It's a timeless book consisting of a collection of 26 prose poems that blend spirituality with creativity.
What is your favorite podcast?
There are few. If I was to choose top 2, I'd say the Ed Millett Show. It features high performers and focuses on themes such as optimization, resilience, and personal development, which closely align with my journey as an entrepreneur who has overcome challenges and broken barriers and scaled businesses. Similarly, the Unstoppable Woman podcast by Amira Alvarez empowers women through mindset shifts and high performance strategies for success. And also that resonates with my path as a successful leader and business builder.
Mac or PC?
Mac all day.
Say something interesting about you that people don't know.
One thing most people don't know about me is that my diverse background in engineering, design, and architecture was the driving force behind my passion for disruptive technologies and innovation. Another lesser known aspect of my journey is that I didn't take a traditional path to entrepreneurship. I launched my first business while I was in university and went on to build a global tech company later on, teaching myself everything from scratch along the way without a business degree or a mentor. This self made journey combined with my multidisciplinary expertise has really allowed me to disrupt industries and create meaningful impact in ways that defy conventional expectations of business success.
What is your hidden talent?
One of my hidden talents is the ability to blend creativity with technical expertise seamlessly. I have a unique gift for innovating at the intersection of art and science, which allows me to approach challenges from different perspectives and develop solutions that others might overlook. I would say this rare combination of design thinking and technical skills has been also a driving force behind my entrepreneurial success, and it has positioned me as a visionary leader. It's this ability to see potential where others see obstacles and turn ideas into reality that has been central to my achievements.
And if you were going to write a book about your life, Rania, what would the title be?
Unyielding.
Great start. Now, let us dig deeper. Our childhood has a profound effect on our adulthood. Our early experiences shape our belief about ourselves and others. Now, I want to discover your childhood. Where did you grow up, and how did it shape your early experiences?
I grew up in Beirut during the Civil War, facing traumas of bombing, forced displacement, and family tragedies. Yet, this adversity also became a catalyst for discovering my strengths and forging my own path. Also, being raised in a multicultural environment, speaking multiple languages, I was able to develop strong communication and leadership skills that later helped me to scale my entrepreneurial ventures globally.
What was your dream job when you were a child?
I wanted to be an astrophysicist.
What was your favorite subject in school?
There isn't one. I'd say my top were physics, biology, literature. I loved writing and learning languages.
What was your least favorite subject?
Math, although it was fundamental to everything else I had to study.
What is your earliest memory of technology and the arrival of the internet?
My earliest memory of technology dates back to the mid 90s when we first got a desktop PC at school with a dial up connection that made a screeching sound when it connected to the internet. I was fascinated by the idea of being able to access information from around the world despite the slow and frustrating experiences at times, especially that I was so early with these technologies.
And which were the three first technology gadgets you owned, and how did they influence your interest in tech going forward?
My first three technology gadgets were a desktop computer, a mobile phone, and a portable CD player. The computer introduced me to digital tools. The mobile phone showed me the power of connection. And the CD player revealed tech's impact on other industries, such as entertainment. These early experiences really opened my eyes to the transformative power of technology. And it wasn't just about the gadgets themselves for me, it was the endless possibilities technology offers, the potential to learn and connect and create in ways that had never been possible before. And all that sparked my passion for innovation, sets me on the path to a career in tech eventually.
And during that period of time, Rania, who was your female role model growing up, and what about her inspired you?
My mother was my greatest female role model. She embodied strength, resilience, and resourcefulness. She always found ways to provide for our family and navigate adversity with grace. Her determination and leadership inspired me to push through my own challenges and carve my own path. I watched her balance multiple roles from being a caregiver and a provider and a leader, which taught me that perseverance and hard work can overcome almost any obstacle. And these values continue to guide my approach to both my life and entrepreneurship.
Beautiful and powerful. And how do you think, based on everything you said, where you grew up and the school you went to and the generation you come from influence your education and career choice?
Growing up in Beirut during the Civil War shaped my approach to education and career, teaching me resilience in the face of scarcity and disruption. With schools often disrupted and closed, I taught myself and I studied independently to make up for lost time. And later on, my studying also got disrupted because of family financial hardships. So the value of education became even clearer as a path out of hardship and a ticket to a better future. The generation I came from also was a generation of dreamers, driven by a desire for progress, for hope, for a chance to rebuild and redefine reality. When I moved to the United States at the age of 18, I carried this drive with me and pursued fields that allowed me to apply my creativity and technical skills to solve real world problems. And in the end, it was adversity, self driven learning, and desire for progress that were the key drivers to shaping my education and my career choices.
So let us now dig into your career. But before that, I'm going to read two quotes. First one: how does the universe expect me to choose a career path at 16? I can't even choose what I want for dinner. Second, Abraham Lincoln said, I quote, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So, Rania, where and what did you end up studying at university?
I studied engineering, then went into design school in Detroit, Michigan. From there, I transferred to continue my design studies in Los Angeles, California, where I finished a bachelor in science in environmental and industrial design. I also pursued a master's in production design and a master's in architecture with a thesis focus on robotics and emerging technologies.
Who and what influenced you to get into your choice and field of studies?
No one particularly influenced me. As I briefly mentioned before, the challenges that I faced growing up gave me a unique perspective on the world, one that saw problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities to create change. My academic journey was influenced by a strong desire to learn, to innovate, and solve real world problems, which led me to choose fields that allowed me to, again, merge creativity with technical skills, a combination that would later influence both my entrepreneurial ventures and my leadership in the tech industry.
And what professional roles have you had before that led you to what you're doing currently?
Over the last 16 to 17 years, I held multiple senior executive positions as founder and CEO and chairperson of the board of three different technology companies that I scaled from idea to acquisition, with the latest being ID4A Technologies, which was acquired in mid 2022. And those experiences led me to more executive roles that I'm holding right now.
Yeah, you're holding a lot of hats still today, a lot of roles. On top of everything that I've said, you're also a member of different board of advisors. So tell us what exactly you are doing and what are your responsibilities?
I currently serve in several senior executive roles, including vice president, board director, board advisor across both public and private sector organizations. In addition, I mentor entrepreneurs and startups through various global accelerators and business incubators, while also offering career and leadership coaching services to my private clients. My key responsibilities involve providing strategic guidance on scaling businesses, team building, product development, organizational management, as well as delivering comprehensive coaching focused on personal and leadership development for the entrepreneurs and leaders that I work with.
And many of guests that I've had, they have been talking about their aspiration to be a part of a lot of boards. I'm sure a lot of listeners too. How did you get those opportunities?
I already have accumulated a lot of experiences. Different companies are interested in being able to get someone like myself on their board, given that I have extensive experience in building businesses and working in the tech industry and also being able to scale globally. So all these experiences are very valuable to companies that are at different stages and they're trying to grow or they have certain challenges. So my experiences are appealing to a lot of organizations. And also, I do try to approach companies that I find aligned with my interests and what I value. And I do present myself as well. So it's a two-way kind of a relationship where I either approach or they approach me.
And how does a typical workday or work week look like for you?
My typical workday blends strategic planning, leadership meetings, and mentoring. Mornings are typically focused on reviewing business metrics, setting priorities, doing my workouts, making sure I get that out of the way, followed by sessions with senior teams to tackle challenges, brainstorm ideas, and drive projects that we're working on forward. I also dedicate time to networking and speaking engagements and personal initiatives while ensuring space for reflection and continuous learning because I believe personal growth is key to success no matter how busy my schedule is.
And I love the quote, choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. So, Rania, what do you love the most about your role?
What I love the most is the unique combination of innovation, leadership, and impact. I have the opportunity to drive meaningful change, not only in the business world through cutting edge technologies and strategic decisions, but also in people's lives through mentoring and creating positive social impact. My role allows me to shape industries, build teams, and empower others, all while staying committed to my own personal growth and learning. So it's this dynamic balance of creativity, problem solving, and making a difference that I love the most.
And what has been the best experience you've had so far? Any examples you can share with us?
One of the best experiences was witnessing the real world impact of our work, especially when our innovations at ID4A Technologies were leading tangible improvements for both businesses and individuals. A standout example was when we successfully integrated impact strategies with our AI and robotic innovations, which not only drove efficiencies in the manufacturing process, but also created sustainable practices that improved workplace equity. And seeing those solutions empowering both companies and their workers was incredibly rewarding. It validated our mission to blend innovation with social responsibility. And it also reinforced my belief that technology with purpose can drive progress while making a positive impact on people's lives.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge you've encountered so far, and how did you end up tackling that?
The biggest challenge I've encountered was navigating the complexities of scaling a business while balancing innovation, efficiency, and social responsibility. As we grow ID4A technologies, the pressure to deliver quickly was immense, but I was committed to ensuring our technologies aligned with sustainable development goals. To tackle this challenge, I built a leadership team that shared our vision. I prioritized values driven decisions and adopted agile strategies for flexibility. This approach allowed us to scale successfully without compromising our impact, which reinforced the importance of perseverance, collaboration, and staying true to our values, even when facing very difficult decisions.
And what do you wish everybody understood about your role?
That it's not just about driving business growth or innovation. It's about balancing progress with purpose. As a leader, my focus extends beyond scaling the company or achieving financial success. It's about ensuring our technology solutions are effective, socially responsible, and sustainable at the same time. And my role is about building teams that share our values, leading with empathy, and creating a culture of trust, ethics, and impact. Because for me, success or true success is measured not just by profits, but by the positive difference that we can make in the world.
What would you say is the one common myth about your professional field that you want to disapprove?
That technology and innovation are purely about profit and efficiency. While those are important, they don't have to come at the expense of social responsibility or sustainability. In fact, I believe that technology, when applied with purpose, can drive meaningful change, create jobs, and improve lives while still delivering business success. So my field is about finding that balance where innovation serves both business growth and the greater good.
So, what is it that you love about working in the tech industry?
The constant opportunity to innovate and solve problems. The rapid pace of change is exhilarating. The potential for technology to drive meaningful societal impact is limitless. Developing solutions that benefit both business and people is deeply fulfilling. Every day, I'm inspired by brilliant minds that I work with, everybody pushing the boundaries of what's possible in different sectors. And it's the blend of creativity, purpose, and progress that truly keeps me motivated.
Oprah Winfrey said, I quote, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is not a stepping stone to greatness. So, Rania, what has by far been your biggest achievement in your career? You've done so much so far and have so much more to do.
My biggest achievement by far is scaling ID4A Technologies from a startup into a global leader in industrial automation and manufacturing tech, especially as a woman in a complex, historically male dominated industry. Another milestone is the significant environmental, economic, and social impact we've made through our commitments to deliver on the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm also proud of my leadership roles in mentoring entrepreneurs and helping leaders scale their businesses and generally contributing to the broader tech ecosystem. These achievements mean a lot to me because they reflect my mission to create positive change and make a lasting difference through technology, leadership, and innovation.
What would you say is the biggest factors help you become successful? What are your success habits that you can share with us?
My resilience, adaptability, and a strong sense of purpose. Growing up in challenging circumstances, I learned to turn adversity into opportunity and stay focused on long term goals. Some of my key habits include lifelong learning, strategic thinking, staying ahead of industry trends, and maintaining discipline both in my personal and professional world. I prioritize collaboration, physical well being, self reflection to stay aligned with my mission. Regular exercise is a must for me because it boosts my energy and mental clarity, which I also believe is essential for effective leadership. So, all these habits help me stay focused, agile, and motivated even during tough times.
How do you measure your own performance at work knowing that you're successful or not?
I measure my performance by evaluating tangible results and personal fulfillment across 5 different areas. Number one, impact and results. I measure the success by the tangible difference our products and services make, whether we're achieving goals like innovation, sustainable growth, and social impact, and how effectively we're meeting our customers' needs. Two, team growth and development. Success is also reflected in the growth of my team, both professionally and personally. I measure how well we foster a collaborative, empowering culture, which showcases the effectiveness of my leadership. Three, personal growth and values alignment. I assess how well I'm aligned with my core values and mission, ensuring that I'm living up to my ethical standards and growing continuously. When I see progress in this area, I know I'm on the right path. Four, resilience and problem solving. Overcoming challenges is key to success. I measure my resilience, decision making under pressure, and problem solving because my response to adversity reflects my progress. And number five is work life balance. I consider how well I maintain balance in my life. Am I prioritizing my health and personal life? Am I maintaining a good balance between different aspects? Because this is, again, crucial for sustaining long term success. So, overall, I see success when I drive positive outcomes for both business and society while growing as a leader and living a balanced, fulfilling life.
And with success comes failures. What would you say is the biggest failure in your career, and what did you end up learning from it?
The biggest setback in my career occurred early on when I tried to scale my first business too quickly without establishing solid foundational processes. This led to operational issues and definitely frustrated our clients. However, the experience taught me the value of sustainable growth, strong infrastructure, and patience. And it made me a more strategic and deliberate leader, focusing on scalable systems and approaching challenges with greater foresight before pushing for growth.
And what would you say is inspiring and motivate you the most in your role and career right now?
the opportunity to empower others, whether it's helping businesses grow, creating more equitable workplaces, or supporting a global shift towards responsible innovation. Right now, I am involved with various innovative companies around the world solving critical problems. So it's deeply motivating to know that the work we do can improve lives, uplift communities, and foster a more sustainable future. It's this fulfillment of making a tangible impact and the excitement of exploring new possibilities that fuels my drives and keeps me motivated every day.
So inspiring to hear. And let us now jump into the influence of mentor, role models, champions, and sponsors. To our listeners, role models can consciously or subconsciously be a powerful force in our lives. In addition, champions can stand up, advocate for us, open up the world of possibilities. Sponsors match emerging talent with leaders and influential employees who can help us move ahead in our careers. So, Rania, do you have a mentor, champion, or a sponsor today?
I currently don't have a champion or sponsor, likely because my career has been focused on building and scaling my own ventures, where I've often been the one providing guidance and support to others. Being an entrepreneur and leader, I've naturally been independent, relying more on my own motivation and vision. But this focus on self reliance has made it more challenging to actively seek out mentorship or sponsorship. Additionally, my role demands a high degree of autonomy, which can sometimes make it difficult to reach out to external support. However, I do understand the value of having champions and sponsors to support one's ongoing growth because I do act as one.
And history shows that it's been more common for men having mentors, champion, and sponsor in business than women. So, how important do you think is to have a mentor, champion, and sponsors through one's career?
A role model can serve as a source of inspiration, while a champion or sponsor can serve as a true advocate who actively supports your vision, opens doors for you, and creates valuable opportunities that you can't necessarily have access to on your own. They provide guidance, they boost your confidence to take on challenges and motivate you to push boundaries. They also hold you accountable, helping you stay focused and aligned with your own mission. Having both, I would say, both role models and sponsors is important for growth and success throughout one's career. But it's important to really know what you're looking for in order to know who to seek out.
Let us now move on to leadership, your specialty. Adena Friedman, President and CEO of NASDAQ, said, I quote, empowering those around you to be heard and valued make the difference between a leader who simply instructs and one who inspires. And Shirley Sandberg, ex-COO of Facebook, said, I quote, leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence. So, Rania, what does leadership mean to you?
To me, leadership is about inspiring and guiding others toward a shared vision while fostering trust, respect, and collaboration. A true leader listens, adapts, and creates growth opportunities. Leadership also means taking responsibility, embracing both success and setbacks, and making decisions that focus on long term progress over short term wins. It's about cultivating a culture where innovation thrives, people feel valued, and everyone is motivated by a greater purpose. Ultimately, leadership is really about using your influence to make a positive impact, both within your organization and the world at large.
What distinguishes a good leader from a bad leader?
In essence, a good leader builds trust, motivates their team, and leads with integrity, empathy, and a clear long term vision. While a bad leader creates a toxic environment, undermines their team's potential, acts out of self interest, and leads through authority and fear. I believe that the ability to inspire, empower, and lead by example is what truly sets a good leader apart.
Who would you say is your favorite female, non-binary, or transgender tech leader, and why?
There are several, but at the top of my mind comes Rashma Sujani, the founder of Girls Who Code. She advocates for gender equality in tech by empowering young women through education to close the gender gap. For non binary and transgender representation, Lena Waith, a screenwriter, champions marginalized voices and challenges traditional gender roles. Both have been instrumental in advancing diversity and inclusion in tech in their own ways.
How would you describe yourself as a leader?
I describe myself as a transformational leader.
And as a leader, what values do you prioritize the most?
I prioritize purpose, integrity, innovation, collaboration, and social responsibility. These values guide how I lead and shape the organizations I build and the ones I also work with, ensuring that both people and businesses grow, evolve, and succeed in a way that benefits society as a whole.
And what leadership lessons have you learned that have shaped you into the leader you are today?
Many lessons, but I will focus on some key lessons that I've learned. One, resilience is power. One of the first lessons I learned is the importance of resilience. In entrepreneurship and leadership, challenges are inevitable. The key is to be able to face setbacks, adapt, and keep moving forward, learning from failure and using it to grow stronger. Two, leading with purpose. Leadership goes beyond achieving business goals. It's about aligning actions with a deeper mission. By leading with purpose and integrity, I've learned that staying grounded in my values not only drives success, but also inspire others to contribute to a shared vision. Three, empathy drives connection. Leadership is ultimately about people, and empathy plays a key role in building trust and collaboration. By understanding others' needs and challenges, empathy fosters a culture of support and inclusion, driving open communication, innovation, and growth. Four, collaboration creates impact. Over the years, I've learned that great leadership isn't about doing everything by yourself. It's about building strong teams, empowering others, because collaboration amplifies creativity, solving complex problems, and driving greater results. So, as a true leader, you should know when to step back and let others lead, which fosters shared responsibility and collective success. Number five, adaptability is strength. The world of business is constantly changing, and adaptability has been a key leadership trait for me. The ability to pivot, embrace new ideas, and adjust decisions has helped me navigate market shifts and challenges, and also challenges in my personal life. Leaders must be forward thinking while staying flexible enough to adjust course whenever is needed. Six, take ownership, but share the glory. I've learned that taking ownership of both successes and failures is crucial, but a true leader shares credit with the team. Success is a collective effort, and recognizing others' contributions can foster a positive, motivated culture. Sustainability and social responsibility do matter. As my career progressed, I learned that leadership is about more than financial results. It's about creating a positive impact. I focused on aligning business goals with social and environmental responsibility, prioritizing sustainable solutions, and empowering workers. Eight, never stop learning and growing. Leadership is a journey, it's not a destination. I've learned that to be an effective leader, one must stay curious, open to feedback, and committed to continuous learning, whether through education or mentorship or self reflection. This growth keeps us relevant and adaptable in this ever changing world. And lastly, stay true to yourself. I've learned that authenticity is essential. Staying true to your values, even when faced with difficult decisions or external pressure, is what defines a strong leader. Authenticity builds trust, and trust is the foundation of any great team or organization.
Wow, so inspiring. What are your three strengths and three weaknesses?
Resilience, creativity, and visionary thinking are my top three strengths. My three weaknesses are reluctance to seek external support, delegation struggles, and work life balance. Those are an ongoing challenge, but I do work a lot on those areas.
Let us now jump into the hottest topic in business today: workplace culture, unlocking the power of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Rania, what do diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging mean to you personally?
To me, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging are the foundation of a thriving, innovative, and sustainable society. These values aren't just buzzwords, they represent how we as individuals and organizations should approach each other and the world with empathy, respect, and fairness. It's about creating spaces where everyone has the opportunity to succeed, where their voices are valued, and where their unique contributions lead to collective success. These values are also not just essential in the workplace, they are critical to building stronger and more compassionate societies.
And what do you consider being 3 to 5 signs of good company culture if you were ever to join a new company tomorrow?
Signs of a good company culture that I'd look for would be one, open communication and transparency, a culture where information flows freely, feedback is encouraged, and leadership is open about decisions, challenges, and successes. Two, growth opportunities, a company that invests in employees' development, offering training, mentorship, and clear career progression. Three, collaboration and teamwork, a culture that values collaboration over competition and everyone contributes and are recognized for it. Four, work life balance, a company that supports employee well being with flexible hours, remote work options, and a respect for personal time. And five, diversity, equity, and inclusion, a truly inclusive culture that values different perspectives and ensures equal opportunities for people of all backgrounds or identities. So these are the cultural pillars that would make a company a good place I would want to work for, and everyone should be looking for, to be honest.
And as a woman, what has been the most significant political or and culture barrier in your career, and how have you overcome these challenges?
As a woman in a male dominated industry, one of the biggest challenges I've faced is overcoming the biases and stereotyping that limit equal recognition opportunities and, above all, respect. To navigate these barriers, I've focused on staying authentic and resilient. By leading with integrity and staying true to my values, I've been able to build trust and credibility, even when others may have doubted me at first. And rather than seeing my identity as a hindrance, I embraced it as a strength, knowing that my rich background and experiences bring unique perspectives to problem solving, innovation, and leadership.
And how do you discuss the IB challenges such as salary gaps, promotion, maternity leave, etc., with your colleagues, peer, and community?
When discussing DEIB challenges, I focus on creating open, respectful, and solution oriented conversations. I use data and facts to highlight disparities while using empathy and active listening to understand different perspectives and challenges. I also normalize these discussions, making them a regular part of workplace dialogues. And I shift the focus to practical solutions like transparent salary bands and clear promotion criteria. I also emphasize the accountability systems, such as having diversity audits and employee resource groups. This approach I found to help in raising awareness and also in driving positive change to work toward a more equitable, inclusive, and supportive workplace.
And there are many public and internal discussions about the barriers women, women of color, non-binary, and transgender individuals face from reaching higher position or receiving funding in the tech industry. How have these issues affected you, and what is your advice on overcoming these roadblocks?
Personally, I've encountered so many moments like this, especially in the early stages of my career and my entrepreneurial journey, where my ideas or contributions were overlooked or my authority was being questioned simply because of my gender or ethnicity or even my physical appearance. But instead of letting discrimination define me, I stayed authentic to who I am and I learned to assert myself confidently, not just by speaking up for my ideas, but also by creating spaces where others facing similar obstacles feel heard and valued. My advice on overcoming these roadblocks: one, leverage your uniqueness. Don't see your identity as a barrier, recognize it as a strength. Your experiences and viewpoints bring fresh insights and innovation. Authenticity is what sets you apart, so use it as an asset in your work. Number two is build strong alliances. Seek mentors and allies who believe in your vision. These relationships are essential for growth. They offer you guidance, support, and opportunities. And having also strong networks can help you amplify your voice in spaces where you might not always be given the platform. And three, advocate for systemic change. Speak out against bias and push for transparency in hiring, promotions, and funding. Advocate for processes that prioritize merits and diversity. Your voice really matters. Ultimately, we all play a part in breaking down these barriers. So, by leveraging our voices together to address structural inequalities, we can work together to create a more inclusive, equitable tech industry for everyone.
And today, tech companies also invest heavily in marketing, attracting women, women of color, non-binary, transgender individuals, but are struggling to retain them. Articles show online that women are leaving the tech industry. What is your best advice or strategies how companies can work to build a stronger corporate culture that engages DIB?
My top 5 strategies are: one, foster an inclusive leadership pipeline by actively mentoring and promoting diverse talent into leadership roles to ensure representation and career growth at all levels. Two, create safe, supportive workplaces by cultivating a culture of respect and belonging through employee resource groups, anti harassment policies, and mental health support as well. Three, establish transparency and pay and career development by implementing clear, equitable pay structures and transparent promotion processes to ensure merit-based opportunities. Four, implement flexibility and family support, such as flexible working arrangements, parental leave policies, to help employees balance work and personal responsibilities. Lastly, promote continuous DEIB education by providing regular training on unconscious biases, allyship, and inclusivity to create a culture of continuous learning and empathy. By committing to these strategies, companies can improve retention rates and create a workplace that values and sustains diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for everyone.
Those are great advices, Rania, but what would you say are the key challenges of implementing a DIB culture in a workplace and in the tech industry today?
There are many challenges, but the key challenges that I want to share today with you, I think there are 7 key challenges. One is unconscious bias. Deep seated biases in hiring and promotions can hinder inclusivity. Overcoming this requires ongoing awareness and training. Two is the lack of representation. We see underrepresentation of diverse groups, especially in leadership roles, which limits mentorship and authentic DEIB efforts. Three is retention and career growth. Attracting diverse talent is not enough. Companies must create supportive environments and clear growth opportunities to retain their employees. Four is tokenism and superficial diversity. Failure to address deeper systemic issues can alienate employees if not backed by meaningful change. Five is resistance to change from leaders or employees who don't see the value of DEIB. These people can really slow progress. So, overcoming this resistance requires strong leadership, clear communication of the business case for DEI as well. Six, inequality in access to resources, such as mentorship and career development opportunities. This can stunt the growth of underrepresented. And lastly, measurement and accountability. Tracking DEIB efforts and holding companies accountable can be very difficult if you don't have clear metrics and systems in place. So, to address these challenges, organizations must go beyond surface level actions and focus on structural change and accountability to create workplaces where everyone feels valued, supported, and empowered to succeed.
And why do you think it's important for more women, women of color, non-binary, and transgender to join the tech industry today?
It's important because diversity is a key driver of innovation, inclusion, and progress. Without diverse representation, tech products risk being biased or incomplete. A more inclusive workplace brings unique perspectives and helps solve problems and technologies that better serve everyone, not just a narrow demographic. It's also an issue of equity. By increasing representation, we build an industry that is not only more innovative, but also more equitable, where everyone has the opportunity to shape the future.
And how do you think companies would benefit from not just having women and women of color, non-binary, transgender as middle leaders, but actually higher gender representation at C-suite level and boardrooms with a voice?
Companies would benefit immensely from having higher gender representation at the C level and in boardrooms for 5 key reasons. First of all, diverse leadership brings fresh perspectives. leading to more creative and effective solutions that cater to a broader audience. So that means increased innovation. Two, a variety of experiences result in more thoughtful, inclusive decisions that consider the need of diverse customers and communities. So that means better decision making. Three, a diverse leadership team signals inclusion, boosting employee morale, retention, and loyalty, which means higher employee engagement. Four, companies that prioritize diversity attract top talent and they appeal to consumers who value inclusivity. So, stronger reputation for the company. And lastly, research shows that diverse leadership teams outperform their peers, driving profitability and business growth, which means improved financial performance. In short, having diverse leadership at the C level and in boardrooms isn't just the right thing to do in terms of equity and fairness. It's also a smart business strategy that creates an environment where everyone can thrive and contribute to the overall company's success.
Once again, Rania, great advice. Now I'm going to challenge you again. Based on that, though, what do you think is the main reason we still see few women of color, non-binary, and transgender leaders in the tech leadership roles and as startup founders still today?
The main reason truly stems from systemic barriers, biases, and limited access to opportunities. These include unconscious biases in hiring, funding, and promotion, a lack of role models, workplace cultures that aren't always supportive of diverse leadership, structural inequalities make it harder for marginalized groups to rise to leadership roles. And while we have seen progress made in areas such as providing better funding, mentorship, and support for diverse founders, overcoming these challenges requires ongoing efforts and collaboration for systemic change across the entire tech ecosystem.
And talking about funding, and another challenge is that the data reveals a concerning trend of low funding rates for startups led by women, with only 1 to 2% of the funding directed towards women in the tech industry. Black and Latina women in particular receive less than 1%. What factors do you believe contribute to this imbalance, and what strategies can be activated to increase funding for women-led startups?
So the imbalance stems from four factors. One, bias and stereotyping. Implicit biases and predominantly male and white venture capital networks often result in women led startups receiving less attention and funding. Two, limited access to networks. Women, particularly women of color, have fewer connections in VC circles, which makes it harder to secure funding. Three is risk aversion and confidence gaps. Women are often more risk averse, and many tend to downplay their ideas and capabilities, which lead to lower investment rates. Four is lack of representation in VC firm. The overwhelmingly male VC leadership results in less diverse investment decisions, perpetuating the funding gap. The five strategies that can be activated to increase funding for women-led startups: one, bias education for investors. For example, venture capital firms should train their teams on implicit bias to ensure fair evaluations of women-led startups, which is a big one. Number two is alternative funding sources, such as crowdfunding and women-centric VC funds can provide more accessible capital for women entrepreneurs. Three, mentorship and networking. Expanding programs and peer networks will help women entrepreneurs build the connections they need to secure funding. Four is highlighting success stories. When we amplify the achievements of women entrepreneurs, we can shift perceptions and inspire more investment. And lastly, having a transparent funding criteria. When we have a clear and standardized investment criteria, we can reduce subjective biases and ensure merit-based funding decisions. So by addressing these barriers and implementing these strategies, the industry can create a more equitable environment where women of color, non-binary, and transgender individuals thrive and build successful businesses.
And how much do you think the tech industry has changed regarding DIB since you joined?
A lot. Since I first joined, the tech industry made significant strides in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Many tech companies have made real progress on DEIB initiatives by setting diversity goals, improving representation of people of color, and establishing supportive policies like parental leave and gender neutral options through employee resource groups. There's also been more focus on leadership diversity and reducing bias in tech products and creating more funding opportunities for women and minority entrepreneurs. However, despite the growing awareness, progress has been incremental instead of being revolutionary. So companies must continue to work on creating sustained, measurable, and meaningful impact, particularly in areas of leadership representation, pay disparities, and ensuring long-term retention and inclusion for women and minority groups.
And looking back on your own career, what one thing would you have changed in your working environment to break the bias?
As a leader of ID4A Technologies, shaping a diverse, equitable, inclusive culture was always a top priority. From the beginning, we made significant strides in embedding DEIB initiatives at every level of the organization, from top leadership all the way down. This commitment not only transformed our internal culture, but it also transformed the companies that we work with. But looking back at the broader job market, I recognize that more could have been done to break the bias, specifically by creating clearer, more transparent pathways for leadership and career advancement, advocating for measurable promotion criteria, increasing diverse representation in leadership roles, and ensuring equal access to mentorship and sponsorship for underrepresented groups. And all these, I wish they would have existed for me as well, because I was one of the generation of entrepreneurs who struggled with this immensely, since none of this was being worked on.
And now, looking forward, what actions will you take as a leader to reduce bias and improve DIB for the next generation in tech?
I will continue what I've been doing for the last 14 years. I've been deeply committed to reducing bias and improving DEIB as a leader in tech by driving several successful initiatives. And looking forward, I will continue to advocate for transparent DEIB metrics to ensure that progress is regularly tracked and reported in the organizations I'm involved with. I will remain focused on creating mentorship and sponsorship opportunities for underrepresented groups to help them access leadership roles. I will continue advocating for policies that eliminate barriers and enable career advancement. And I will keep pushing for more inclusive hiring practices and standardized promotion criteria to ensure equal opportunities for all. And I hope that this accumulation of efforts will continue to contribute to the next generation.
Oh, it definitely will, Rania. With your power and with your experience and leadership is exactly what is needed, and the role model you are and representation you are. Thank you very much for that. Let us move on to another hot topic in business today, which is work-life balance and mental health. You were talking about balancing that. So you have undoubtedly a busy lifestyle. You do travel a lot. How do you take care of yourself to maintain good mental health?
Maintaining good mental health really requires intentional practices and boundaries. It's not easy. You have to keep working on it. For me, it's all about balance. I set clear boundaries between work and personal time to ensure I disconnect and recharge. I do regular exercise, which helps me manage stress and boosts my mood. I practice mindfulness and meditation to stay grounded and calm. I prioritize sleep and recovery, and I try to make time for hobbies that bring me joy. And if I feel extremely challenged, I've learned to seek support from close loved ones, or I may talk to a therapist to navigate certain situations that I'm unable to navigate on my own.
Have you ever experienced burnout?
Yes, at several points in my career, I've experienced burnout, particularly when juggling multiple responsibilities and high expectations. The pressure to perform can take a toll when you are a CEO, especially when I'm passionate about my work. But to tackle it, I first had to recognize the signs of burnout, such as feeling exhausted or detached or unable to focus. Then I would learn from those insights to reassess my workload. I set better boundaries, delegated more effectively, prioritized self care, made time for activities that recharge me and rejuvenate me. Also, seeking support from others reminded me that rest is vital. You always get that advice from other people telling you need to stop. It's not just about productivity. So over time, I learned to manage my energy and maintain balance. I learned honoring my well-being alongside my ambition, and it's an ongoing process.
And what is your advice on how companies can create a more mentally healthy workplace in the new now?
The five key advices are: one, prioritize mental health as a core value and normalize mental health conversations by integrating it into the company culture. Discussing mental health openly breaks the stigma and empowers employees to seek help. And that should be a part of the leader's skills to be able to create that environment. Number two is promote flexibility and work life balance. Like we mentioned before, offering flexible work hours, remote work options, because creating a supportive environment that respects personal time is vital to reducing stress and preventing burnout. Three, provide mental health resources and support, such as access to counseling and wellness programs. Regular mental health check ins or offering workshops can also help employees feel supported and understood. Four, encourage open communication and transparency by creating channels for employees to voice concerns and provide feedback or discuss their mental health challenges. Open communication makes employees feel heard and it helps to address issues before they escalate. And lastly, cultivate a culture of empathy and inclusion where employees feel valued, respected, and understood. Supportive, collaborative, and empathetic leadership makes a huge difference in fostering mental health and mental well being in the workplace. So, leaders have to really kind of become this great absorber of a lot of information and a lot of skills in order to create those environments. A lot of this takes very good and strong leadership skills to be able to achieve that.
What would you say motivates you every day to get out of bed?
The opportunity to make a positive impact, whether it's helping others grow, solving problems, or contributing to a larger vision. I'm driven by the challenge of turning ideas into reality and the chance to build something meaningful, whether that's through business, working with my team or clients and the organizations I support. Ultimately, knowing that the work I do can leave a positive mark keeps me motivated to keep pushing forward every single day.
Now, let us wrap up with a few words of wisdom and a piece of advice for listeners. Rania, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given that has helped you during setbacks in your role and career?
The best advice I've received during setbacks is: this too shall pass. It's a simple but powerful reminder that challenges, no matter how daunting, are temporary and that every setback is an opportunity for growth. This mindset helped me to stay resilient, weather the storms, learn from them, emerge stronger, and continue to move forward toward something much better.
And then, what's the worst advice you ever received, and how did you tackle that?
Many. But I would say the worst advice I received was to just play it safe or avoid risks. I was told that sticking to a known path would shield me from failure and lead me to success. And while it may have been well intentioned, of course, to me, playing safe meant being stagnant and limiting my potential for growth. Taking risks meant learning, growing, and daring to dream beyond what's comfortable. So I handled this advice by choosing to trust my instincts and pursue opportunities that felt aligned with my values and vision. And ultimately, those bold steps and leaps of faith that have been key to the success I've achieved and the career I'm proud of today.
And is there something you wish you would have known or a skill you wish you had when starting out in the tech industry?
Looking back, one skill I wish I had developed earlier in my career is the ability to make decisions with confidence, even in the face of uncertainty. When I first entered the tech industry, I often second guessed myself. I was developing new ideas that weren't yet available or were not kind of acceptable or familiar to other people. And I was also learning everything on my own. I did not have mentorship. I did not go to business school to know how I'm going to go about building a business in tech. On that note, I wish I leaned into mentorship more from the start because I believe I could have accelerated my learning, avoided certain mistakes, and it could have also opened up more opportunities for me earlier on.
And if you had the ability to go back in time to where you were just at the beginning of your career, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to seek support from others and practice self-compassion. We often hold ourselves to high standards and can be our hardest critics, especially during moments of failure, frustration, or self-doubt. And my younger self could have avoided the trap of both being overly self-reliant and also perfectionism at the beginning of my career.
And what advice would you give to young girls, women of color, non-binary and transgenders who's trying to break into STEM fields today, especially wanting to become next generation leaders and founders?
My advice would be one, believe in your own potential. Know that you belong in STEM. Your ideas, insights, and experiences are valuable and needed. Be confident in your voice and your abilities. There is a space for you, and the world is better for having you in it. So you have to trust that and own it. Two, find mentors and build a supportive network. Find peers, role models who can uplift you and guide you. Seek out mentors who can offer you advice, encouragement, and inspiration, especially those who have walked a similar path. These relationships will be crucial to your own growth. Three, embrace your uniqueness. Know that your background and identity are strengths, they're not barriers. Don't shy away from what makes you different. The diverse perspectives you bring to the table will drive the innovation and progress we need in STEM fields. And by embracing your authenticity, you are setting the stage to become a leader who can shape the future in meaningful ways. Three, be resilient in the face of challenges. The road to success in STEM won't be easy, and there will be a lot of obstacles along the way. Don't let those challenges discourage you. Each step back is an opportunity to learn, grow, and prove your resilience. So use it to your advantage. Four, lead with courage and purpose. Know that leadership is not just about technical skills, but also about having the courage to step up, to make decisions, and inspire others. As you grow, be intentional about leading with integrity, compassion, and vision. Your leadership style will not only help you achieve your goals, but it will also open doors for others who follow you. Five, create and seize opportunities. Don't wait for the perfect time to step forward. Take risks, create opportunities for yourself, and build your own path if necessary. Be open to new experiences and don't be afraid to fail. It's often through failure that we learn the most. And through these experiences, we also come out stronger. And six, advocate for yourself and for others. Stand up for what you deserve, whether that's fair compensation or recognition or the chance to lead. At the same time, advocate for others in your community who may not have your courage or they don't have the voice to speak up. So be the ally you wish you had and create pathways for those who will come after you. Lastly, remember that you are part of a growing movement in STEM, and your journey of breaking barriers will pave the way for future generations. So stay true to yourself, be persistent, and believe in your power to lead and create change.
Woo, goosebumps! Last but not least, what is next for you in your role and career in tech, Rania? What are your career aspirations?
This one I will keep for myself, but I invite you to stay tuned, follow me, stay tuned to my updates to see what's coming up next.
Well, I look forward. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Queens of Tech podcast, sharing your journey will without a doubt inspire change and reshape company culture for the next generation of women of color, non-binary and transgender leaders and founders in tech.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for having me on the show.
Thank you for listening. For more podcast episodes and to learn more about the Queens of Tech initiative and to support us, visit queensof.tech.